Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mercury conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy, so what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have Mercury conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart, there may be very intense communication, which is Mercury, pertaining to career, which is the midheaven related matters. If the midheaven, say is an Aquarius, those career related matters may be connected with astrology, astronomy, aviation, meteorology, innovation, humanitarianism. It could be altruistic works. And another thing, another example, let's say if the midheaven is in Capricorn is another example, career-related matters may be tied in with architecture, construction, information technology, accounting, dentistry. It could be something associated with government or political work, masonry, carpentry, as some other examples. And the thing too is that if you have Mercury conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart, another way it may manifest could be is that your mind, which is Mercury, may often be on business and matters associated with your business and livelihood, which is the midheaven. Now, let's say if the midheaven is in Taurus, as an example, the business and livelihood, may be tied in with geology, carpet laying, could be work as a pawnbroker, a stockbroker, something with banking, finance, agriculture, gardening, cultivation, as some examples. And also, too, if you have Mercury conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart, another way it could manifest is that there may be very, loquacious, restless, dexterous, very mobile, mobile, which is Mercury, qualities that can be hard to suppress, which is the midheaven. Now, let's say if you have, your Mercury in Gemini, that could really reinforce and reaffirm, this energy, because Gemini naturally is, very restless zodiac sign. I'd say pretty much the most restless of the zodiac signs. And the thing is, if you have this aspect in the natal chart, it may also, be expressed in, if there are, let's say you have any issues, right, that are connected, the hands, the arms, the nerves, lungs, or breathing, which is Mercury, that may also be difficult to suppress. And people can see, often see, those, those issues maybe a lot quicker than in most astrological, aspects or placements or what have you. And another thing too, now if let's say, if Mercury is in Aquarius, those issues that I just described may be more sporadic, erratic, intermittent. It may be more tied in with the nerves, actually. As an example, and could reaffirm, if there were any issues with the nerves, it would be really hard, to hide that, from others. It's just that's one way. Another way that this could be expressed. Now, another thing too is that Mercury conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart can also indicate that you may really emphasize short journeys, which is Mercury, to business, government, political, which is midheaven venues. Now, if the let's say the midheaven is in Sagittarius, those business venues may be tied in, publishing, advertising, printing press operation. It could be, something associated with, a foreign travel agency, or, something, maybe tied in with sports or the outdoors, as some other examples. And the thing about this too. Mercury conjunct the midheaven. If you have this aspect, it can also manifest in frequently, thinking, which is Mercury, about matters associated with attaining greater social status. Your stature in life, which is the midheaven, your standing in the community. And the thing is, if the midheaven is in Taurus, as an example, attaining a more social stature in life may be done in a more methodical, plodding, and deliberate, manner. Midheaven and Capricorn can be similar, or Virgo, done in a very systematic and methodical, kind of way. Virgo would be very, attuned, to the details, of course, in that process. And it also could be, where one, say if the midheaven is in Libra, as an example, attaining, greater social stature in life may be done in a more balanced manner, but it could be done in some, Libra profession, whether it's something connected with negotiation, arbitration, the law, art, which can cover a wide divergence of things, whether it could be drawing, painting, or sculpting, as some examples. Now, another thing too is that this aspect can also be expressed in a lot of much responsibility, which is the midheaven, in matters pertaining to one's communications, writing, and manual dexterity, which is Mercury. Now, let's say if you have Mercury in Pisces, as an example, things with manual dexterity, it could be working on, fixing something associated with docks, or, fishing equipment, boating equipment, as some examples, something with oceanography, if there's any equipment connected with that, being able, to using the use of the hands, showing dexterity in order to fix, those issues. The thing is too, and also, as far as writing may go, if Mercury's in Pisces, writing may be, associated with poetry, dancing, things, that are fantastical, fictional writing, or even the metaphysical, which includes astrology, or writings connected with the paranormal, as some examples. Now, another thing about this aspect is that you may often analyze, which is Mercury, matters that are associated with accomplishments and achievements, which is the midheaven. It could be just simply in terms of how long it's going to take to accomplish something, as an example, or the amount of things you've achieved in a certain amount of time. Is it worth trying to try to accomplish this task? If the midheaven, again, going to Aquarius, as an example, it could be something with astrology, astronomy, or computers, electronics. It could be just analyzing how long it's going to take to do things that are associated with those fields. Of the midheaven is in Aries, as another example. It could be matters associated with the military, or speech pathology. It could be some kind of physical therapy, or if there's some profession associated with the head, such as helmet design. These are things where you may be often analyzing in terms of the work and what you're going to accomplish in that. Now, also too, if you have this aspect in a natal chart, you may have that reputation, which is the midheaven, for being dexterous, restless, articulate, and mobile, which is Mercury. And the thing about this too is, going to Gemini as an example, again, that can really reaffirm this. Mercury's in Gemini because, or midheaven is in Gemini because Gemini is a sign that can be very, restless, articulate, and mobile. There, let's say if you have, this conjunction in Taurus, it can be toned down a little bit, because Taurus, of course, is more, plodding, deliberate, methodical, but you maybe still have a reputation for being, more restless than otherwise indicated. Now, another thing too is that siblings, cousins, and neighbors, which is Mercury, may often play, that integral role in terms of your success you attain, which is the midheaven. And Let's say if Mercury is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, siblings, cousins, and neighbors, one or more, may actually have a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, people that are very dedicated, devoted, caring, tenacious, protective, introverted, but yet could be moody and temperamental as well. And it's also, too, with this aspect, it could indicate a career like in a mercurial field, whether it may be doing something with writing, driving, something that requires mobility, communications, or again, even manual dexterity. It could be such as, repairing, vehicles or refrigerators. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.